Brilliance Audio presents Sleep, My Child, Forever. The riveting true story of a mother who murdered her own children. By John Coston. Performed by A.T. Chandler. Ellen could hear the sweet echoes of child's play coming from the bathroom. She was in the kitchen putting away groceries, and her daughter Stacy was soaking in the bath, playing with her Barbie dolls. She would scrub them down and primp their hair, all while talking in sing-song coos and whispers. As Ellen unbagged groceries, the sounds emanating from the bathroom didn't register as an assurance that all was well, or that another tiring day of being a single working mother was near its end. On this rainy night, Ellen's thoughts were pursuing a dangerous path. As if it were nothing more than her next evening chore, Ellen left the kitchen, walking down the hallway to her bedroom. There she found the object that had been occupying her thoughts, a hairdryer. She picked it up, examining the length of the cord. Then she plugged the appliance into a wall outlet outside the bathroom and looked in on her 8-year-old daughter. Stacy was washing her face. Her eyes were closed to keep the suds out, but she heard something fall into the water. She splashed water onto her face to clear the soap away so she could see what it was. A 110-volt charge electrified her bath water, and Stacy screamed. First, blinding pain struck, then the sensation of something crawling all over her. She sensed that she was being pulled down into the water, but she didn't know why. There was no one there. When she tried to get up, she couldn't do it. She was overpowered by something pulling her down, a force she had never felt before. She didn't know how she did it, but somehow she managed to grab the hairdryer and turn it off. She threw it out of the tub and climbed out. Then Stacy saw her mother. "Stacy," she said, appearing frantic. "What happened?" "I don't know," Stacy answered. The words came slowly. She was still shaking all over. Ellen daubed the trickle of blood coming from the little girl's mouth. Stacy's little brother, Steve, who was 4 years old, had been awakened by his sister's scream, and he now stood at the entrance to the bathroom, watching his mother ask Stacy questions, helping her get dry with a towel. Ellen turned to Steve. "Steve, what happened?" The sleepy little boy had no answer. "I'll get Todd. You start to get dressed." Todd Andrews lived down the hall. Though Ellen didn't know him except to say hello, which was about how well she knew anyone in the building, she did know that he was a medical student. Maybe he could help. But he didn't answer his door, and in the short time that elapsed while Ellen had gone to fetch him, both of her children had become hysterical. There was uncontrollable crying and shrieking. "We have got to get you dressed. We have to take you to the hospital." Ellen shuttled them both to the bedroom, where she hurriedly began to dress them for a trip to the emergency room. Her mind was already preparing for the questions that would come from the doctors and nurses at Children's Hospital. She knew she couldn't tell anyone what really happened, so she prepped for an elaborate and quite realistic description of what happened. "We came home from the grocery store," she would tell them, "and I told her to take a bath, and Steve was going to go to bed. She read Steve his bedtime story, and he was lying down. And we thought he was asleep. And I told Stacy on the sofa, let's get your bath water run, you know. I'll help you in the tub, and if you need me, I'll be in the kitchen putting groceries away." She had her Barbie dolls in the tub, and she was playing with them. And as I was putting groceries in the refrigerator, putting some meat away, then I heard a scream, and I ran to them, toward the bathroom, down the hallway, and I saw a cord that was plugged into the outlet. And Steve was up and he was crying. And Stacy was. She was just in shock. She was screaming. I yanked the cord up, and oh my God, it was a hairdryer. I got Stacy out of the tub. And Steve says, "I got it just to rinse the Barbie doll's hair, Mom. And I went in your dresser and got the hairdryer. And I plugged it in. I thought it was to dry their hair. And, I accidentally dropped it in the tub." I didn't see Steve come out of the room. I didn't hear him because I was putting groceries away, and I was making noise putting the meat away in the refrigerator. And all I heard was her scream, and then him scream and start crying.